So those pineapple slices that I cut up and dehydrated, cooked for their 16 hours. They're dry. They get cooled off. It stopped right before I woke up this morning, so it's been cooling for the last hour or so. You want to make sure when you vacuum seal anything that you dehydrate that it is cool, so that it won't build up condensation inside your vacuum seal bag. That moisture can lead to fungus growth and that kind of thing. Even no matter what sterile, clean situation you use, moisture creates mold on a boat. So I have rearranged my stuff a little bit here, but first I want to show you, I buy these gallon size pre-sealed bags at Amazon, and I'm going to include the link for you. I showed you the one I cut yesterday, but these look like this. I can use them for meats, for fish, for any other large products. If I buy flour or anything, pasta that needs to stay dry, I have these big bags. The long continuous roll works, but it's just something more that's an attachment I have to put on the side of the vacuum packer, and I'll show you that too. But I get these gallon size bags and then I just modify them to what I need. So our pineapple is nice and dehydrated. It's cool. I kind of moved these around a little bit, but you can see the pineapple chips shrink up, where yesterday they filled the space on these racks. Today they're like nice small little parts. So we're gonna pack them all in little bags. And then to get this size bag, I just take these bigger ones and cut them in half. So I'm going to go ahead and mark them and cut them. I just fold them in half and then make a little slice. It's not really a kitchen tool. I could use a sharp knife, but I use a lot of Milwaukee products, and so I have a little razor knife. Everything has to have 2 jobs or more on a boat, so this is something I use for a lot of processes. And I could just put it on the cutting board and cut. So I made a little notch at where half is. So I have a little notch, and I can just take these on the cutting board, pin the knife down, and then peel the bag up to cut. So you don't need a big cutting board, you just need to be able to pin that down. And there's my notch. Get that started. Once I get it right and get a hold of it, I can just roll it forward. Boom. And then the knife can go away. Cutting board can go away. So this is the vacuum sealer. I'll move this a little closer. This is the vacuum sealer. It has 2 latches on either side, and you can either seal only or you can vacuum and seal. Since I made my own bags out of these pre-sealed ones, I'm going to take the ones that don't have an edge, and I'm going to go ahead and seal those. So you just put it on the little heat strip, flip it down on either side, and hit seal only. It's sealing the bag. When the noise is done, there's a release button on either side to release it. And then you have a seal, pretty much like the one they did at the shop. So this one is sealed, this one is sealed, this one is not. And release. So I'm going to take each of these trays and take the pineapple out and just line it up inside my bag. Again, any kind of contamination is going to cause mold. So we try not to use our fingers. We have germs that are normal on our fingers but aren't normal otherwise. I have to decide how many slices are right for whatever recipe I'm going to do. I'm putting probably 4 or 5 in each bag. But you can see they're all nice and dry. There's that little flower I mentioned to you. It looks like a little flower bud. They're very pretty. I can't wait to make a pineapple upside down cake and just put these little flowers in there. I'm gonna balance out the bags and then we'll seal. I balanced this out. I just divided it up kind of evenly into 4 bags. And there's our 4 bags. So to vacuum seal the bags, you have the open side of the bag and you take your product and you lift this up. There's a little trough in here that has a vacuum connector. You want to make sure liquid doesn't get in there if you're doing anything wet. But you put the bag up into that section. It's going to have about an inch margin on it. Click it again, and I'll move this so you can see this process. When I hit vacuum and seal, it starts the process. You can see the bag shrinking down. Pulls it in tight. The red light comes on and I know that it's heat sealing it. The machine stops and it's done. I can release the buttons on either side and I'm sealed and done and ready. And it's a nice seal all the way across. This is one of the bags that I sealed on the bottom, so it's nice and tight. That's why I knew it got a good vacuum. So we'll set this aside. Just do these others. Up into that trough. Down, click, click. If the bag doesn't pull vacuum and seal, then maybe you didn't get it all the way into that little trough, or maybe something is obstructing the little hole that the air sucks out of, or maybe your bag itself has a leak someplace. This is one of the factory sealed ones that has a wider margin than what mine does. But you can see it sucked it down. As it gets nice and flat, the red light comes on, it's sealing it, and I'm done. As soon as you release it, the power shuts off there. And there's number 2. So this one isn't sealing readily. I'm not exactly sure why. It started to and it stopped. So I'm going to cancel the process and open my buttons up. One of the things that I wanted to show you, and I had the bag in too far. That was the problem. It was up on the top edge, and when I closed the lid, it was too far up. My device got, and if you can see this little indent, it got put away with the outlet plug shoved in there somehow. And so it made an indent in my rubber seal. So I took the tip of a kitchen glove and put some tape on it just to give this the pressure it needs to make the seal. It has to be something that air can suck down against. So that works. You've seen the other ones work. So I'm just going to reposition this into the trough. close it again, and seal. And there you can see it's going real quickly. Boom. It's heat sealing, and it's done. That wasn't an intentional lesson, but it worked out pretty well, just so I can show you. Some people get frustrated with things. You just have to be patient, realize it's probably human error. Make sure that's up there. And probably what happened was when I closed the lid, I pushed it forward too much. I just love how they look like flowers. It's difficult to see. And this one's doing the same thing. I must have pushed the bag up too far. Cancel. Yep, it's up on the edge. So I just have to pull it back just a hair. And there it goes. These bags have one smooth side that's slick and shiny, and one side is textured, and that's how the air is able to suck through with that little suction, because there's just enough of a break in it that it can suck through. And then when it seals it, that's a null point, but that's how it works. So now this one is done. And we're done with all that. I go ahead and label them. Today is the 14th, and I've gotten into the habit of putting a date up on the top corner, 1/4/20. I can tell it's pineapple, so I'm not going to write that on there. 1/4/20. Reuse these bags. If you cut close to the seal that you made when you open them, you still have enough of a bag that you could put something small in, and then seal it again. This is kind of a wide margin. I could have made it a little bit shorter, but I was, trying to get this to seal correctly for everybody. So you can reuse the bags, conserve, reuse, repurpose, all that kind of stuff. Jay tasted this pineapple last night when it was partially dry, and there's a sweet versus sour component to a greener pineapple versus a more ripened pineapple. So today I'm going to go ahead and do that other ripe pineapple and dehydrate some more. And I think I'm going to write, sweet or sour on the labels, so that we know down the road. There's a chance that the color might change on those. I'm going to keep watching them to make sure there's no mildew intrusion. I keep them in a cool, dry closet where I keep my other pastas and flours and things like that. So dehydrating and vacuum sealing pineapple on the boat. There are lots of boat cooking channels. I'm going to try and show you the things that I do that work for me. And so in the future, I'm going to show you how I make kombucha on the boat. How I brew it and how I flavor it afterwards to give it that little up sugar, because I love drinking my kombucha on the boat. And let's see, other things that I do, other meals that we prepare, other foods that we get, and coming up soon, we're going to add an Engel refrigeration conversion kit to the second ice box on this Morgan 41 out island. I have one ice box. The primary one that we use, we put an Adler Barber system in there. It had an old Seafrost saltwater cooled one that was just totally corroded and ruined and didn't work. And I have an Engel insert on Yellowbird, the boat that I solo sailed recently, that I've had forever. Engel icebox insert kit has a swing motor and a flat plate that you can put into an existing icebox. and it's very power economical. It uses very little of your energy. And so we're going to add a second refrigeration so that we have extra food storage space. Sail to Utopia. Hopefully we'll start our adventure business when we get to Puerto Rico. We're still planning on Puerto Rico even after all the earthquakes. We hopefully can go and do some mission work and help some people there because we're self-contained in our little world. We're kind of like an off-the-grid situation. We have 690 watts of solar, 400 amp hours of lithium battery, and we plan on and a 30-gallon-an-hour Cruise RO water maker. So we don't need their resources, and we can actually aid the community, we hope, while we start our business. It's a beautiful country and a beautiful place, and natural disasters happen all over the world. So we will hopefully get there and get going with our stuff. But the Engel insert will actually draw very less power than the Adler Barber. So look forward to more videos. Please like my video, share, subscribe. If you don't like it, send me a message. If you like it, let me know, and we'll keep putting it out there. Cheers, y'all. Happy sailing.